How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's staying safe in the midst of this coronavirus. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with the Cold War. We're going to do some of our crises of 1956. We're also going to talk about the U-2 spy plane, Area 51, and a little Cuban Missile Crisis to end it out, so it should be a pretty good day. If you could, I need you to look at your notes that say the Cold War heats up. Flip over to the back of that note sheet and you'll see the three crises of 1956. Now, with the three crises of 1956, give me 1 second here. Forgot my clicker. With the crises of 1956, we're going to be looking at three events that are going to cause a major rift between communism and democracy, which ain't doing very well already, but this is certainly going to heat the situation up. The first of our three crises is going to be known as the Suez Crisis, or the Suez Intervention. And it has to do with this guy right here. His name is Nasser, and he is going to become the new leader of Egypt. Now, Nasser is one of these guys where it depends on how you want to look at him. If you're an Egyptian, for most Egyptians, he's a pretty popular figure. If you're a Jewish person living in Israel or someone in the Western world, Nasser's not a very popular figure. Nasser is certainly a pan-Arabist. So he's someone who's looking to promote the ideas of the Middle East, push the West out. And certainly he is someone who is rallying a lot of Arabic countries to his banner, getting more countries on board with pan-Arabism. So he's going to become the new leader of Egypt. And one of the first things he's going to do is he is going to seize control of the Suez Canal. And I need you to highlight that, the Suez Canal there. Now the Suez Canal, we've talked about before, is built by the British and the French. It's a gateway between the Mediterranean and the Red Sea, and this has really helped out European trade to Asia. You don't have to go around Africa anymore. There's a lot of benefits to the Suez Canal. It is technically on Egyptian land. So Nasser looks at it like, well, it's on our land, it's our canal, we're taking it, everyone can pay money to go through it, and that's how it's going to be. Well, the French and British kind of look at it like, well, we built it. We spent all the money to build it. We used most of our labor to build it. Like, why should we have to be paying money to you? You didn't do anything. So this is the conflict. Now, both France and Britain turn to us in this situation, and they go, hey, America, what do you think about this Nasser situation, grabbing the Suez? It's going to be trouble. We agree, however, our President Eisenhower's got two issues here. Number one, the Soviets back Nasser and Egypt. And the Soviets have suggested that if we were to get involved in this, that things could get nuclear. So the Soviet Union has decided to take a stand in the Middle East. They're going to dig their feet in a little bit here. Second, Eisenhower kind of feels that Nasser has a point. Like, do the British and French lose out on this? Yeah, they do. However, it is Egyptian land, and this isn't something to really cause a big problem over. Just pay the fee, we'll work on getting some kind of a discount, and let's just move on. It just ain't worth it. So we don't really want to be involved. Now, because of this, the French and British, along with the Israelites, come up with a secret plan to create an incident in the Suez area, have the French and British and Israelite armies attack the Egyptians, push them away from the Suez, and then the French and British will reassume the control of the canal. Now this is so secret we are not told about this. We have some inklings that they're going to do this. Eisenhower doesn't really want to believe it because this would be a huge stab in the back by the British and the French to pull something like this off without telling us and with our complete disapproval. But they do it. This is a little map here of the Israelite forces invading the Suez, and then you might be able to see British and French intervention forces in the plain where they're parachuting soldiers in. And this is sometimes known as the War of 1956. And the sides are Egypt and probably some Middle Eastern support there, and then England, France, and Israel. Now, I will say that this is mainly special forces on the British and French end, and they're not looking to get into a long, drawn-out conflict here with Egypt, so this is a quick hit, see if we can do it. If not, okay, we're out. But when it's all said and done, they lose. The Egyptians are able to hold the canal. The Israelites are forced to retreat. The British and French forces are made to retreat. And when it's all said and done, Nasser's going to keep the canal. And it really hurts our relationship with Egypt, because as much as we tell Nasser that we didn't have anything to do with this, he ain't buying it. And it also really hurts our relationship with Britain and France. Eisenhower is super PO'd. You know, he basically goes to both of them and is like, you know, you are deceitful. You know, I mean, you basically just lied to us to pull this off. So, you know, it's a nasty situation all around. I would say the most important thing about the Suez intervention or Suez crisis is it becomes quite clear to everybody that without American intervention, England and France are very limited in what they can get done. Which is hard for them to swallow, boy. I mean, these were two great countries, you know, that in a lot of ways they still are great countries, but, you know, powers of the world, and that certainly has slipped a lot, you know, and that they're having a difficult time here with a war against Egypt, you know. So it certainly shows that America is the backbone of this democratic side of the Cold War. Now, our next crisis is going to occur in Poland. And I just want you to highlight Poland there. And it has to do with this guy right here. The guy's name is Gomułka. And Gomułka is a Polish dissident, a Polish rebellion that was put into a gulag for a while. Khrushchev lets him out. He returns to Poland, rises through the ranks pretty quickly, and all of a sudden we see this nationalist Polish movement led by Gomułka. Now, Gomułka's playing an interesting game here. He's basically telling Khrushchev and the Soviet Union that Poland will stay commie, we'll stay in the Warsaw Pact, we won't leave, we'll have good trade relationships, we're your friend. However, we want all the Soviets out. Poland will run Poland. Everyone else can leave. We will be your friends, we will work with you, Russia. We want all your little Russian spies and all your Russian politicians out of here. Khrushchev thinks about it, and he decides to do it. He is going to allow Poland to run itself as a communist state. This is a big win